Welcome to the League of Nerds comic book segment number 36. I'm John Cooney here to talk to you about comics released the 10th of October 2012 with an ambitious list today that I want to get through. So I want to remind you of our new format. We're going to start off with the first five, which are the 5 books that I intend to read first this week. And I'll give you a little more depth into those 5 books. Then I'll round out the top 10 with the next 5 books I intend to read and finish with the best of the rest of the books that are being published this week for your consideration. Then I'll wrap up with some of the trade paperbacks that are out this week. With that in mind, let's get started with our number 1 book for the week is Uncanny Avengers number 1. This is the launch of the Marvel Now initiative. No fan is going to want to miss the blockbuster debut of a new Avengers team featuring members from all across the Marvel Universe, a team that unites Avengers and X-Men alike. In the aftermath of Avengers vs. X-Men, the Uncanny Avengers are born as the Avengers and X-Men must join forces to overcome the greatest challenge that either team has ever faced, and one that's so devastating that neither can afford to do it alone. Captain America assembles Thor, Wolverine, Rogue, Scarlet Witch, and Havoc to counter the return of one of the most loathsome villains in history. This title's launching the Marvel Now initiative, and many are comparing it to the DC relaunch last year. Marvel editor-in-chief Axel Alonso described it as the next chapter in the ongoing saga of the Marvel Universe. From October through February, we'll provide at least one great reason for readers, old, lapsed, or new, to go into comic stores each week. A new issue number 1 featuring an exciting new creative team and a driving concept that's an easy entry point into the Marvel Universe. Close quote. At number 2 this week, we've got Wolverine and the X-Men number 18. Now, this is one of the few Marvel titles that's not relaunching in the Marvel Now relaunch, but thankfully it will instead continue on in the aftermath of Avengers vs. X-Men. Series writer Jason Aaron said that things continue on full speed ahead. The second year kicks off with issue number 18. The last few of the Avengers vs. X-Men tie-ins really have come to some dramatic turns for a few of our characters that set the stage for everything to come. The cast will be shaken up a little bit. A couple of characters will go away. We'll have at least one high-profile addition. There will be a whole new role for Angel. A couple of our students will go in directions they certainly did not anticipate. The Hellfire Club will up their game in a big way as they suddenly have a whole new objective in mind in terms of how to deal with the Jean Grey School. Close quote. At number 3, we've got Morning Glories number 22. Writer Nick Spencer once described his Image Comics teen drama as Runaways meets Lost. If you're unfamiliar with Runaways, it's a Marvel comic series created by Brian K. Vaughan. I highly recommend. Morning Glories focuses on 6 central characters who are students at the Morning Glories Academy, which is a boarding school with some dark secrets. And similar to Lost, it's a long-form story, with every issue usually leaving you with more questions than answers, so it requires some patience. But it's an interesting and compelling look at group dynamics of 6 very different individuals that have been developed to the point of familiarity, each representing and depending on some fairly standard stereotypes to create instant relatability. We're on issue 22 this week, which is in the 4th arc of the first season. The series is designed as a set of 4 25-issue seasons, concluding at issue 100. At number 4 this week, we've got Batman 13. Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo will kick off a Joker storyline titled Death of the Family, utilizing the villain in what DC has announced is a dark, horrifying, unnerving way. Death of the Family will bring back the Joker after he appeared briefly in Detective Comics number 1 in September last year. However, in that issue, he had his face literally removed by the end of the issue and hasn't been seen again in the New 52 universe. Scott Snyder says, quote, "Wait till you see him. Greg's sketches literally gave me chills. Point blank, this is the Joker like you've never seen him before. He has a mission, he has a secret, and he has a serious axe to grind with Batman. It isn't going to be pretty, but it's going to be a wild ride. Basically, this is my big exploration of the Joker. My Arkham Asylum or The Killing Joke, only bigger in scope. Bottom line, it's the biggest, baddest, most shocking Joker story I could tell. This is Joker completely unleashed. He's been away for a full year planning this revenge, watching, plotting, setting things up, and now he's back. He has his trap set and his knife sharpened." Close quote. Similar to the Night of the Owls crossover last spring, this story will spill over into the other Bat books throughout the fall. At number 5, we've got Before Watchmen, Dr. Manhattan number 2. As I mentioned last week, the Before Watchmen books had a difficult task set for them in that the established characters from the original Watchmen series had been so well defined that there are narrow parameters for development without either sticking too close and being unoriginal or straying too far and being inconsistent. And this is probably most prominent with Dr. Manhattan, who was explored in some depth in Watchmen number 4 issue, as John reflected on his life from the planet Mars. As I've said previously, I felt that the creative assignments for these series have been particularly well suited, and in this case J. Michael Straczynski captures John's voice so well that it seemed in fact a bit too familiar, and I was concerned that we weren't going to get much innovation. That is, until I got to the end of issue 1 and realized just how ambitious Straczynski's plans actually are. And to his credit, I'm now looking forward to issue number 2 even more than I was looking forward to number 1. Rounding out the top 10 this week, we've got Avengers vs. X-Men Consequences number 1. After the biggest comic event of the year's conclusion last week, the Marvel Universe is left reeling, and we come to Avengers vs. X-Men Consequences. This powerful weekly 5-issue limited series shows just what happens to the Marvel Universe after the dust settles from the Avengers vs. X-Men. Who'll survive? Can the Avengers and X-Men ever peacefully coexist again? The answers arrive here. At number 7, we've got the massive number 5 from Dark Horse Comics, written by Brian Wood. Running low on crucial supplies, the crew of the Capitol head for a supposedly abandoned science station in Antarctica. But when Mary, second in command aboard the Capitol, and Ryan, the only American aboard, find the station occupied, the supply run turns into a deadly fight for survival. Number 8, we've got Avenging Spider-Man number 13. Spidey goes from high school to prison, featuring the single most awesome supervillain team-up, Deadpool and Hypno Hustler, plus a twisted twist of an ending. At number 9, we've got Archer and Armstrong number 3 from Valiant Comics. Our heroes' newfound friendship will face its greatest test as they battle the Sisters of Perpetual Darkness, the Nunjas, which are ninjas and nuns, who guard Rome's blasphemous secrets. Obadiah Archer thought he had betrayed his family before, but nothing can prepare him for this. And at number 10, we've got Suicide Squad number 13 from DC. Behold Regulus. A traitor among the team is revealed. Basilisk fights the squad on 2 fronts, and one is in Amanda Waller's own home. For the best of the rest this week, we've got from DC Comics Batgirl number 13. That's the first meeting between Batgirl and Catwoman in the New 52, plus the Talon that Barbara faced during the Night of the Owls is back for revenge. We've also got Batman and Robin number 13. Gotham City is being devoured by zombies, and learn the dangerous secrets of the 2 Club. We've got Phantom Stranger number 1. It's an all-new series focusing on secrets from the New 52 that you never imagined. The Phantom Stranger strikes a bargain with Lord Trigon that will have serious repercussions in the DC Universe. We've got Ravagers number 5. Caitlin and Superboy reunited, and that's not a good thing for Ridge. Beast Boy's powers become dangerous as he feels the effects of the rot world from Animal Man. Got Superboy number 13. Superboy's attempts to lead a normal life are interrupted by the reappearance of the mysterious Jocelyn Lure. Superboy's search for Caitlin and the Ravagers leads to his guest appearance in Ravagers number 5. We've got Team 7 number 1. Learn how the secret wars of the New 52 were fought by Team 7. This all-new series follows the actions of Lynch as he assembles Amanda Waller, Slade Wilson, Alex Fairchild, James Bronson, Cole Cash, Dinah Drake, and Kurt Lance into a team that will shape the DC Universe as we know it. From Marvel Comics this week, we've got Avengers number 31, the final explosive arc for long-term Avengers writer Brian Michael Bendis. While the Avengers deal with the fallout from Avengers vs. X-Men, Tony Stark intercepts a signal that may lead the Avengers into the arms of one of their dearest friends or greatest enemies. We've got Fantastic Four number 611. This is the final issue before the Marvel Now relaunch, with Jonathan Hickman's groundbreaking run coming to an end in this climactic issue. We've got Red She-Hulk number 58. This is an all-new ongoing with the Earth's strongest female set on a path of destruction. Her enemies, every powered being in the Marvel Universe. We've got Secret Avengers number 32. The Abyss spreads. The new Masters of Evil begin their invasion. A traitor amidst the Avengers is revealed. A friendship forever shattered. An Avenger quits. And a shocking death that will destroy the team. We've got Space Punisher number 4. This is the conclusion of this limited series as the Punisher kills everything in space. And last from Marvel, we've got X-Men number 37. Meet the last living proto-mutant. The Storm-Cyclops divide widens as the team starts to unravel. Colossus has his own agenda. Will he leave the team to pursue it? From Image Comics, we've got Think Tank number 3. Dr. David Lauren has had enough. Enough of the death and destruction at his hands. Enough of the military men that control his life. Tonight, David finally makes his move to escape from the military think tank that's been his prison and playground for years. The only complication? He has to free an innocent woman from the same place. Also from Image, we've got Walking Dead Michonne Special. This is a special issue of Walking Dead that represents the Walking Dead number 19 that featured the first appearance of Michonne, as well as the Michonne origin story that first appeared in Playboy magazine, just in time for Michonne's appearance in The Walking Dead Season 3. From Valiant Comics, we've got Bloodshot number 4. They call you Project Bloodshot, but you had a real name once. You were born, raised, maybe even loved, and at some point your head was filled with dozens of false memories to motivate you, restrain you, control you. But what if one of those memories wasn't fake? What if you had a real wife and child somewhere in the world who thought you were dead? Wouldn't you go through 7 kinds of violent hell to find them? In trades this week, we've got Falling Skies Volume 2. I want to mention this because I know a few people who really enjoy this TV show. But immediately following the events of TNT's Falling Skies Season 1, the second mask gets pinned down by alien forces and sustains heavy losses. With an army of skitters closing in, the group shields themselves in an armory in Fitchburg, ready to finish the battle once and for all. We've also got Saga Volume 1 trade paperback. When 2 soldiers from opposite sides of the never-ending galactic war fall in love, they risk everything to bring a fragile new life into a very dangerous old universe. Fantasy and science fiction are wed like never before in a sexy, subversive drama for adults. This is a great book by Brian K. Vaughan, and this is a specially priced volume at $9.99 that collects the first arc of the smash hit series from issues 1 through 6. And finally, we've got Powers Volume 14, Gods trade paperback by Brian Michael Bendis. God is dead and Walker and Sunrise are investigating his murder. Yeah, God. Don't believe it? Then buy the book and find out what's going on. It's also Dina Pilgrim returns, and how and why is going to shock you. All that, and Retro Girl finds herself infected with the deadly alien virus. This collects Powers number 7 through 11. Well, that's it for me this week. Again, still plenty more books on the shelves at your local comic book shop for you to also check out, so be sure to see if there's some books that you might be interested in that I'm overlooking, and let me know about them on my comic book blog at he'sgotissues.com. You can go there, see what I'm reading, and let me know what books you're reading that I may not be reviewing on here. So until next week, I'm John Cooney, and I've got issues.